come sit on the bed? Come sit nice? You sit nice? I don't know what you're looking at. Hello, and welcome to episode 10 of Once Upon a Corgi. Yeah. That's Iron, and that one was Audrey, and I'm Gabby. That was also Audrey, and welcome to our Puppy Crafty Life podcast thing. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Gabbigales. The Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter. I have an Etsy shop at uponacorgi.etsy.com where you can find my yarn and project bags. And maybe today you'll be able to see my eyes, but my glasses are probably not going to let you. So once again, sorry for that. We are coming to you from southwestern Connecticut on the New Haven Metro North line, and you are being serenaded today. Yay! You want to come on the bed? No. They're probably going to be super loud today because Jake was home all day yesterday, so they got to go to the PARK. So they want to go back. My show notes are down here. You can kind of see my laptop. So if I'm looking down here, that's why. And with that, let's get started with some administration stuff. We have finished our Sawans challenge. Yay! We, Once Upon a Corgi, were the winner for the Sawans. I don't remember what number I was in each one, but I will put a picture around here so you can see the Swans that I made. And that was pair number 3. I completely destroyed pants number 1 and 2, but I do have plans for the remnants of those poor sweaters. So thank you to everybody who came and voted and participated and cheered us on. It was fantastic, and it was super fun to make, and definitely very fun to get in touch with Allie of Get Lit and Knit, and we've been chit-chatting a lot lately, so I'm glad to have some new podcasty friends. So, because we are the grand prize winners, we're going to stop saying so much, and we have a grand prize on the way. We've got something coming from Melissa from the Spicy Homemaker podcast and Brittany from the Sip and Stitch podcast, who are running the knitting games of 2016, and Allie is sending some stuff over too, and I am contributing something. So the grand prize will be, my eye looks crazy because one's blocked out. I look like Two-Face. Sorry. The grand prize will be a project bag, a Notions pouch, a DPN holder, a stitch or a progress keeper, a journal set, and I'm going to throw in a skein of yarn. So you are getting a skein of Once Upon a Corgi, and I'm calling this one Spilt Tea. I was playing around with the colors from the Spot of Tea colorway, and I just love the way they came out. So this is Spilt Tea on the Fig base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon silver stellina. It's about 438 yards. So this will be in the set, and I will either post pictures, or once I get everything in, I'll do a post on Instagram. So you just get a ton of these purples and pinks and greens and blues and a little bit of black in there, and it's super sparkly. So yes, thanks computer. What was I saying? Prizes? Oh, prompt. So I will open a thread in my Ravelry group, the Once Upon a Corgi podcast group, which you should come and join. We're not very chatty, but there's some good chit chat going on. Yeah. I'm going to open a thread, and the prompt is, what sweater would you turn into Swans? So post a picture, 1 post per person, so 1 entry per person. You must be in the knitting game groups to participate, so you have to be a member at the Spicy Homemaker, Sip and Stitch, and you should be a member of the Get Lit and Knit podcast, so do that anyway, and then be a member in mine, just that way, so it's fair to everybody. Iron just stole a squeaker out of a toy, so if you just hear squeaking, that's him being a puppy. So yeah, I will open that thread Monday, March 21st. I'm hoping to get this posted Tuesday, so the thread should be up by the time this is posted. And for your knowledge, it is Sunday, March 20th, first day of spring, and we're on a nor'easter watch. Go New England. So yeah, post a picture of what sweater you would turn into swans. Ugly sweaters are the best sweaters in my opinion, so sorry if my head keeps doing weird things because my glasses. How's that? That's okay. Now I just look mad. So yes, this will be my contribution, and I will do a post when I get everybody's stuff in. Everything is in the mail, so it should be here within the next couple days. And I think that's it for administrative stuff. There are a bunch of CALs going on, so I'm going to talk about those as I get to them in our projects. And I'm going to go grab a finished object because I have to find it. So, good? Okay. Alright, let's get on to some knitting. So, finished objects. We have, yes? Are you just saying hi? The much awaited Hulk socks. Finally done. And they fit. And I have 2 of them. And my voice is going. Sorry, excuse me. And I have a super judgmental Audrey right there. They've been barking at the birds across the street because they can see out the window from my bed. So, if they start going nuts, I apologize. But, here they are. It's a, what did I do? 90, I want to say I did a 92 stitch for the cuff, which is about an inch because I got bored. And then I went down to 84 stitches. I think the feet are 84, and then I decreased throughout the leg to 84. And these were on a US 1, my US 1 Chow Goose, and I knit them sort of 2 at a time. And they are out of both Malabrigo, and I don't remember the colorway names, but I'll put them in the show notes. And we did a regular heel flap, but I did a garter heel, just to give him a little bit more cushion because he's on his feet a lot. And then a regular wedge toe, which I think fit him really nicely. And my Kitchener stitching is awful. Excuse me. But we're practicing. So they're done. And I'm never knitting him socks again. Ta-da! So I am super glad to get those off of my needles. Excuse me, I'm gonna have some coffee. And I'm really sad that my coffee isn't hot enough to light up. I've got my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. mug, and you can kind of see it right there. When it's hot, the Hydra sign shows up. Turns out my coffee's not hot anymore. Our other finished object is another pair of socks. And these are the I Love You More Than Pumpkin Spice socks by CC Ullman from the Geeky Girls Knit podcast, or Java Pearl Designs. And I bought this kit in November when it came out, and it's Rainbow Heirloom in the orange peel and Coffee Lovers colorway. And it's got this beautiful pumpkin cable up the front of the sock, and then a mistake rib, I think is what it's called. And these were very tedious to knit, but so much fun. Because it was sort of like, can I get to the stem? It doesn't look like a pumpkin, and then you do the pumpkin twist. You're like, it's a pumpkin! So, these were done on US 1.5. My fixed Nova Cubics circulars. And those were a dream to work with. I can't wait to knit another pair of socks on them. I love them so much. Square needles are the coolest thing ever. So these are finally done. I haven't blocked them yet. I've been weaving in the ends. So I'm going to block those today after I wash my yarn. And I love them. And this is going to go in my Boxo Socks Cal. This is actually my first pair of socks for it that I'm counting for that knit along, because my other pair of socks that I counted for me, I started in December. So this is pair number 1, and it's already March. Nyron's sleeping on my knitting. So these will go in my box for my socks. And I just love them. Just look at that stitch pattern. It is a paid for pattern, and she came out, I think the book is out because she's at Edinburgh Yarn Festival this weekend. I think that ends today. Or Bedinburgh if you can't go. knit in bed. I love that hashtag. Yeah, she's got a coffee-inspired design book that just came out, and I think it's 6 or 7 pairs of socks and then a shawl or a cowl. So check that out. I love her designs. She's got a lot of super geeky fandom designs and a lot of coffee-inspired things, and I love both of those. She's got, I think, a Lady Lollybroch colorway, and then she's got Doctor Who socks. You should definitely check them out. So there we go. 2 finished objects to make up for the none from last week. I hustled to try and get everything done for this podcast. I almost had a third one, but not quite. And with that, let's try and move on to whips. We'll start with more socks since Iron's sitting on everything else. And these are for Candace from the Pin Feathers and Pearls podcast is doing a stripy socks cal. So I guess I have a hoe. By guess, I mean I have a hoe. It's just in the bottom of the bag. So we got one sock from our Into the World set. Why does this? Oh, I decreased. I forgot. So I did 72 stitches for the cuff. And then I kept 72 on this leg, and then I went down to 68, and this is on size US 1 DPNs, and I just did a fish lips kiss heel, and I'm sorry if this is making anyone like nauseous. It's very stripy. And I did a wedge toe, and my Kitchener stitch is horrendous, so I'm not going to show you up close. And so now I have my second sock. And this one I did 72 for the cuff. Oops. Throwing needles. And then I decreased to 68 for the leg. I wanted to see how they fit. This one does fit. I just wanted to see what would happen if I did this. But I think with US ones I definitely need the 72 cuff. Because my 64 stitch socks that I did on US ones, they fit, but they don't go back after I wear them. They just stay stretched. So I wanted to see if adding that little bit of extra stitches would help. So I know I need a 68 count on US ones and then 64 and 1.5s. So there we go. And I worked on this a lot yesterday at my event. So, and we've got our little Corgi, ooh, that's not the side the camera's on, Corgi Progress Keeper. I'm sorry if I'm making anyone dizzy. There we go. So hopefully this will be done very soon. I'm about halfway down with the leg. Yeah, I think I did 80. I did 20 stitches for the cuff, and then I did 80 for the heel because I wanted to use up as much yarn as I could. So, and my foot looks teeny tiny next to it. So there we go. Oh, and this is Into the World in their God's Wood colorway that I got at Rhinebeck last year, and it's beautiful. I'm so in love with it, and I can't wait to raid their booth this fall. And this is in my, try and show you the project bags. Good to Be a Girl, Ghastly's project bag with my angry, nitty old ladies, and then my judgmental staff. And really sad and weird child and half a person. But I love this bag so much. Let's put the knitting. Oh god! Stuck in my computer. Alright. Drawstring. Beautiful. I'll put a link to her shop in the show notes. I don't know if she's got any more of this fabric left. I've been hunting for this fabric for a while. And I love it. So our next work in progress is also a sock. And this is the, oh, it's Sunday, can you tell? The Fine and Dandy sock by the Sweater Company. And this is for the Fine and Dandy sock cal, hosted by Jacqueline from the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast, and Amber from the Yarn Junkie podcast. And I am having a blast with this pattern. And this is on my Audrey base, and I'm calling the colorway Like My Cold Dead Heart. And these are going to be for my friend Abby, hi Abby, who surprise watches this podcast. She let me stay at her house for Valentine's Day weekend for our man dog day and helps me with figuring everything out to get up there and getting up there. So I'm knitting her a pair of thank you socks. And I'm having a blast. I want to knit 100 of these. Or like 2 pairs. Probably 2 pairs. Just this beautiful little like plant thing. And the pattern, it just came out and it was a little bit confusing. I think it was me. I don't want to give anything away because it is a paid for pattern, but it's only $1 in Australia, so it's 74 cents for the US. So like that and the Fish Lips Conceal, just have it because it's only $1. You're gonna use it. I just had like these weird like sideways cactus plants going on, but then I figured it out, ripped it out, started over. And here is the back, and I am in love with how this dyed up. And you've got, I don't know if it's gonna pick it up, but you've got like these little specks of bright red, and then a little bit of the super dark maroon and black, and almost like this grayish purple. Oh, I love it. So in love with this sock. I'm in the heel gusset part, so that's why it looks a little funky. I've never done, it's a toe-up pattern, and the only toe-up style heel I've done is Fish Lips Conceal, so I'm excited to see how a toe-up heel flap and gusset works. So yeah, and these are on my US 1 ChiaoGus, so magic loop in it. I don't really have a preference. Sometimes I really want to do magic loops, sometimes I really want to use DPNs. I'm not picky. We'll see what the sock wants to be. And I'm knitting this out of my yarn bowl. It's already in a cake. That's a center pole, so I don't really need the yarn bowl, but it's pretty, and I'm going to use it anyway. And there's the cake of it. So it's like my cold dead heart, because when I asked Abby what yarn color she wanted, she was just like, I don't know, something that represents my cold dead heart. So here we go. Goth life. Our next work in progress is the a Bonbon Shawlette by Fluffy Fibers, or by Isabel from the Fluffy Fibers podcast, and I did a DK weight version, which is hanging up right there, and this is now the fingering weight version, and this is out of a test skein in my Lollybrock colorway, and it's on 100% mystery wool. I have no idea what it is, and I'm just about done with the slip stitch section. And the girl that is for is our dog walker / a hostess at Bertucci's. Did I show you? I showed you the wrong side. Herb derbs. And she's pretty tiny, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to knit on this, because I don't want it to be too giant on her. I want her to be able to wear it like a regular scarf. So there's the slip stitch pattern. So I think I'm going to do a couple more rows and then do the eyelet section and then bind it off. But it's a super easy knit. It's not mindless, but it's very autopilot-y. So it's been a really good wind down knit at the end of the day. And it's got my little bee progress keeper on it. So this is what I did yesterday, I think. So not too bad. And it's in my little bee Once Upon a Corgi bag. There's a corgi. And, ooh, I'm gonna try and remember to tell you guys the needles for these. It's on US 6. Yes, US 6 Knitter's Pride Dreams. And I think it's a rosewood. And I love the wood needles. I don't like the bamboo needles so much because I knit super tight on them, and then I, like, cannot get the needle through it, but I like the wood ones. Wood and metal are my go-to. And then our next project is the Luca Shawl by Jared Flood, or the Lose My Mind Shawl by, we're not gonna name him, because this has given me and everyone that I've talked to so much grief, but it's such a beautiful pattern. And I've done something weird so my stitch marker doesn't fall off. So let's see. Oh, okay. Let go, let go. Okay. So, Carlene from the Made with Carlenergy podcast, Denise from the Yarn Geek podcast, and I are hosting a knit-along for this, so feel free to join. It is not for the faint of heart. But if you are up for a good challenge, or if giant lace things is your thing, definitely check it out. This is from Brooklyn Tweed's winter collection that released in January, I think. And it's a pie-shaped shawl. I'm trying to see if I can do this without pulling all my stitches off. And this is what I have so far. Stitch marker down. Alright. I'm in the middle of chart B, so see if I can. This is where I'm at. And now that I'm past the first circle, it's going really well. There's definitely some mistakes in these weird little, I think this guy definitely messed up on this thing right here. I don't know if you can see it. That's a little wonky, but now that I'm kind of in the groove of it, it's going a lot better, and I'm very excited for the finished project. This is definitely a product knitting, not so much the process. But some rows I really like, some rows I would rather not. And I'm knitting these on, this is take 6 of this shawl. What I ended up doing was, I cast on, you can definitely see the difference, using my size 1.5 Nova Cubics. And I did the first 4 or 5 rounds in that, and then I went up to the carbons. And last time I talked to you, I was fighting with the carbons because the lace was the perfect, thanks computer, the perfect width of the seam. And that was my problem. It was the lace was made to get caught in that. So I went out and I got a pair of Addi Lace Turbo in the size US 3 because it was looking a little too airy, I think, like once you get up close. But then just going down to the 3, I think, helped define the stitches a little bit more. So yeah, this is a 3 needle, 6 try project, but it's turning out beautifully and I'm just loving the way it looks and I can't wait. My goal is to have it done by June 24th. I know the knit along ends at the end of April, but I'm gonna talk to everyone and see if they want to extend it because this is gonna get big real quick. There's already over 200 stitches and this is it. So I'm glad I'll be knitting this towards the beginning of summer because that will give me a chance and the space to go outside on the porch and block it, and so hopefully I won't need to have a shawl the size of my living room blocking all day. So there we go. I'm just gonna keep trying to stretch it out. I have coffee burps, I apologize. I'm in love with this section. I really like how this pattern's turning out. So there we go. That's the Luca shawl by Jared Flood. Oh, and this is in, let me, tell you about the things. I'm knitting this out of Jagger Spun in their Cinnabar colorway, and it's 50% wool, 50% silk. 1,120 yards. And I got this at the Stitch in Time in Bethel. And I got the needles. I went down to New Haven, or Knit New Haven, last weekend because I was so fed up with my needle problem, and they were adorable and the kindest and the cutest store I have ever been in since A Stitch in Time, or what was the other one? There's another really cute knit store. So yeah, if you're in the New Haven area, definitely check them out. I perused their yarn a little bit, but I didn't want to look too closely for fear of buying it. So that's the Luca shawl. And this is my Tuesday knits, because if I work on this on Monday, I'm going to have to rip everything out and start over. And this is in my Business Monsters bag. And there's the corgi. I love these guys. They just make me so happy. And our last work in progress. I feel like I'm working on everything, but I'm not. I'm working on like 3 things now. Does that make sense? Sorry, I have so much eyelashes in my eyeballs. And this is the Little Brown Cardi by, I want to say Alex something. I'll put the name down here and in the show notes. Did I say that? Yeah, I did say the pattern. And I didn't show you this last week because I kept forgetting to grab it. So And I'm in the middle of a row. Wow, you did good, Gabby. This is the Little Brown Cardi from O Wool, and I'm knitting this out of O Wool in the Lake Erie colorway. Let's try not to pull the stitches off. And I have the bottom ribbing done. And I just started the stockinette portion. And I'm knitting this on size US 5s. Yes, US 5s in the Dreams interchangeable set that I have. So there's that. And I am loving the way this is knitting up. It's knitting up faster than I think it is as I'm knitting it, because you have huge purl rows because it's stockinette. So there's the ribbing, and I've got, I think, about 5 more inches until I have to separate for the armholes. And it's a seamed cardigan, so it's my first cardigan. It's my first seaming of anything, and it's my first O Wool, and I'm just loving this yarn. It's gushy, and it's soft, and it smells really good, and it's a little bit lanolin-y, so it's not too rough on the hands. There we go. There's the color. And this is, at this rate, probably going to be my Rhinebeck sweater. And definitely part of a make-along. I love cardigans, and I wear a lot of dark colors, so this is definitely going to be a staple in a handmade wardrobe that I'm trying to create. So I'm loving it. And this is also, I don't know what this weird line thing is though. I think I just switched a stitch. It's not, don't look at that side. I was watching the Bakery Bears podcast, and when they started their Muppet knitting thing, their year of Muppet, I chuckled to myself because Gonzo is definitely my Muppet, and this is his color, even though I'm putting Peter Rabbit buttons on this. So I love it. I need to knit on it more. And this is in one of my prototype big large size bags in the skeleton fabric with the canvas things. And this is definitely, not my best seaming work, but working on it. And got a handle, and it's also my first test for my new labels. So there you go. Not completely straight, but we're working on it. So those will be my new labels. I'm going to discontinue the hand embroidered corgi for now, just because things are getting super busy with my whole life. So I'd rather not dread doing them. But this is my large sweater. This is my large size. It's the same width as the medium bag, but it's got an extra 3 or 4 inches, and the bottom's a little bit wider. Oh no, maybe, oh no, this one's a little bit wider, yeah. So, this is the large and the medium. So this is holding, I think, 4 skeins of yarn plus that sweater, and then the other, like, 6 skeins are on my shelf out there. So there we go, and there's the other side. And I have more of this fabric that I stupidly cut up into 3 or 4 inch strips, so I think we're going to do a little patchwork sock size bags out of that, because it's such a great fabric. I don't know why I did that. I just wasn't thinking. I love this bag. And that's it for works in progress. Yes? Yes. I got a passed out puppy. So we're going to move on to some... Oh, I forgot half the things I was going to talk about. So we're going to move on to some stash building, stuff we did this week, and other things. And yes. So spinning, my computer's making a weird noise. I am plying my Sarah's Textures Craft, the first installment of her color club from last year, which is the Monet colorway. I forgot the painting name. I should know this. But I did fractal spinning for a 2-ply for about a fingering weight, and I'm in the middle of plying it, but I got bored. So it's on hold. And it's on my wheel, so I can't show you. And yeah, so my other spinning, I went to an SCA event yesterday called Hrim Shula, And so it was a bunch of just classes, and it was a lot of fiber arts based things, lots of sewing, tapestry, weaving, spinning, dyeing, that kind of thing. So I brought along my Turtle Made Turkish spindle, and I spun up a roll lag while I was there, just sitting in classes. I took 2 classes, and then I sat and audited a Viking, computer's like vibrating, the Bayeux Tapestry history walkthrough. So they went through each scene in the Bayeux Tapestry that has survived, went over the recreation scenes of it, the story of the fights behind the tapestry, and then how to tapestry sew. So I'm kind of interested in tapestry sewing, but not at the moment, so I just sat down and spun. And this is one of my nutmeg roll lags, and it's just 100% local Connecticut wool that I dyed up and turned into roll lags. And so here he is. I'm going to do a little 2-ply out of it. I finished spinning him yesterday, so I think tonight I'll ply it up. And yes, is that it for spinning? Alright, let's double check our notes here. Whips. That. Sewing. So we are waiting for more fabric to come in for our Anna dresses because somebody didn't read the website before buying the fabric. If you buy fabric from fabricworm.com, this is totally my fault. They ship in half yard sections. So when you order one, you're ordering half a yard, not a yard. So I thought I was ordering 3 yards. I ordered 1.5 yards. So I have 1.5 yards of the blue double gauze fabric coming in, and more of the skeleton fabric because I'm going to make a dress out of that. So that will be there soon. And our other sewing project, which I'm showing you so that I'm holding myself accountable so I can finally finish it, and there's a needle in it, is my recreation piece for, I didn't forget his name. It's Joaquin something. It's Dutch. I don't think it's Joaquin. Might be something else. He did a painting of a kitchen maid, and it's a little bit late for period, but the style is just out. Not just out. It's just in. It's like super late period. So I'm recreating that dress. So I have the bodice, and I hand stitched everything, which you can see my beautiful stitch work. So my bodice is lined and ready to go, and I have a pile for the skirt, and I'm not going to hand stitch the skirt because that's a lot of skirt for even my size of a person. So this is my sewing project. I wanted to wear this yesterday, and I didn't finish it because I didn't work on it all week. So this is my sewing goal. I can't start the Anna dresses until I finish this dress. And it's really just a matter of sewing the bodice together, attaching the skirt. That's it. Everything else I have to make anyway. So I'll put a picture of the painting here so you kind of get the idea. I'm probably going to tweak it so it's a little bit more period. We turned. Nope, now you can see Audrey sniffing my dress. Perfect. Yeah, so that's on to stash building. I didn't get any yarn in the past 2 weeks, mostly because my acquirements happened between filming of the last episode. So we only got one thing, and it's in this bag. So at the event yesterday, there was a woman, oh, let me get a business card, there was a woman selling fiber because she does natural dyeing of yarn and fiber, and she has a drum carder, so she puts together clouds. The cloud I wanted, or the bat I wanted, sold out, but I just got some other stuff. So here's her business card. And then see if that'll do anything. There you go. And she taught a natural dyeing class, which I'll talk about in a second. So I just picked up about 2 ounces of fiber for my drop spindles because all I have is 4-ounce braids, and I don't really want to spend 4 ounces on a drop spindle. So it was a really good price. And it's a mixture of, this one is their Luna Moth color, and it's just got these beautiful pops of red and blue and gray. Let's see if I can open this up a little bit. And I've never spun with a cloud before, so this will be interesting. Oh, and it's falling. It's falling. We'll just do that. So there you go. It's so soft. It's got Angora, alpaca, and merino, I believe. It's like you're not even touching it. It's so soft. And then this is their Phoenix colorway. This is more cloud shaped. I think I got more of this one. Yep. So there we go. I love it. This one doesn't have the sparklies, I don't think. No. And this one was, I think it's got BFL, and this one definitely has silk in it. So, I'm super excited because I got a new drop spindle at Rhinebeck. And I have the turtle, the Turkish spindle. What are you growling at? But I don't have anything to spin on them. So, I got those, and I almost broke into them last night, but I told myself I should wait until I show them on the podcast. So, hopefully those will be yarn soon. And I really like Jenny's from the Tiny Paper Foxes handmade or hand spun mini blanket. So I might steal that or put those in something. I don't know. We'll see what they turn into. And that's that. I'm going to do a quick shop thing, and then we'll do mostly yesterday's event because that was what I did for the past, that's what I've been prepping for the past 2 weeks. So, shop update will be soon. Probably, I'm hoping, depending on how my week goes at work, Jake has a business trip again, so I'm going to be a single dog parent for a little while. Depends on how that goes and how much sewing I can get done. But we have 3 bag patterns going into the shop, and there'll be a variety of sizes. I'm not going to say what because it's just a pile. I just cut out a bunch of stuff. So our first bag will be the fat little Audreys, and this will be a sock size bag. So the Bumblebee bag, this will be that size. So this will be one of our designs. Our next one will be this castle. And everything's cut out. I just have to sew it all together. So that's that. And this will have, some of them have gray, some of them have this white. It's just a canvas. Give you a little bit more stability. And all the bags will be interfaced and zippered. So you can stand them up on their own, flip them over so you can turn them into a yarn bowl. And then my favorite, Disney villains. Da-da! And some of these will have the Disney villain green inside. Look at that color. So those are the bags that will be up. And I will do an Instagram post when those are ready. I just want to tell you a date, and then if I don't make it, fail. So, for yarn, we do have a bunch of yarn going in, but not this one or this one. We will have some more spilt tea, and we have one on our Audrey base and one on, this is the ginger base, I believe. It might be on the fig base. I think I'm going to choose between the fig and the ginger base because I like both the Stellinas, but I don't want to tell you one thing and ship you something else. So I will put down what this is in the shop, but this is spilt tea. So it's that super speckly, variegated. There you go. We will have a gilded teacup, and this one is, I did get it was gold Stellina, but the blue dye stuck to it so much, so it turned it like a bluish silver. So you'll have a gilded teacup. We will have one of the Romantics, since all the kits with this colorway sold out, and this is on the Audrey base. So it's just a super light coffee color with these intense maroon splotches and speckles. Not that one, not that one. We'll have, like my Cold Dead Heart. I only have one of these at the moment. I do have a couple skeins soaking to dye up, so I might dye up one more of these. But we'll see how popular this is. So that's that. And this is on the Fig. This is the Silver Stellina base. And then we are going to have a couple, this coffee is making me awesomes. So that'll be up. And then we have a couple, I did some testing on different ways to dye up that colorway. So it's the same colors, it just laid out much differently. So I'm going to put these up as Frankenskeins, which is what I'm calling my experiments. So it's the same colors, just not the same layout. But though I have two of those, so those will be up, and they're both on the Audrey base. Skein on camera. What are you chewing on? So yes, you'll have those. And I think that's it. These two are mine. I did a lot of, if anyone's interested in these, let me know. This is, I'm calling this Coffee, 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 and this is gonna go in a shawl with my secret garden for myself. So I was just playing with leftover brown dyes. If you guys have any requests for any of the colorways that I've shown you, let me know, because I'm still trying to figure out what colors I want to have and like what to be more permanent colorways, but also like what people are interested in. I am really new at this, so I'm not sure what the popular vote is. So if you want to see anything from the colorways, I did put up a colorway page on onceuponacorgi.wordpress.com, which is where the show notes will be, because I'm good at intros. So yeah, if you want to see anything, just let me know. And I also did a test dye for, is this the right one? No, this one is. This is another test dye I might throw up in the shop too. But it is for the Tom Kitten colorway. So you have these dark brown and light brown stripes for his fur, the little hints of blue, and this one's a little bit more greener than I anticipated, but the green for his eyes, and then the blue for his little sweater. And it's gonna go into a cardigan with roly-poly pudding. So it's doughy, and I threw in these yellow specks for butter, because it's roly-poly pudding. So this will be my Beatrix Potter Tom Kitten cardigan that I should be casting on very soon. So this is, I was just same colors as Tom Kitten, but I applied them differently. So I think I'll put this one up. So there you go. It's a little bit more tonal, less, I don't want to say speckly. It took it differently. Like one's immersion, one's hand painting. So I was just playing around to see what they did. So this is a Tom Kitten variation. And that's it. Those will be up. Hopefully, I want to have everything up by Easter, because I do have a lot of ideas brewing in my head that I want to get out. So that's that. Let me put this in the bucket so the dogs don't try and sit on it. You know, they're both passed out. You can see Audrey. So that leaves us with events, and this week has just been work and work and work, as one does, and puppies and puppies and puppies. And the puppies went to the park yesterday, so we might go again today. It's pretty cold out because it's the first day of spring, and we are expecting maybe a snowstorm. We don't know. Perhaps, probably not. I don't know. The weather has told me 3 different things in one sitting, so yeah, and I knocked something over. So our biggest event was Hrimshula yesterday for the SCA. I'm in the Dragonship Haven, so if you're in the SCA, I'm Dragonship Haven, East Kingdom. What? Yeah, it was a day of classes. I got there around 9:30. It opened at 10. I signed up for all my classes. First class, it was a little confusing. One of the teachers threw out her knee at a belly dancing seminar. Another teacher broke her leg. I wanted to do the medieval fiber study, so she showed you how to spin with like cotton, flax, hemp, silk, wool, a couple other things, but I couldn't find the class, like physically. One paper told me one thing, it wasn't in the program. Another paper told me something else. The lady in charge told me something completely different, so I'm gonna move over and see if this does anything. So I went and I sat in on a drafting and spinning class, and I learned some new things. I mean, I already knew woolen and worsted and like different fiber preps and stuff, but she showed us like her carders, and I forgot what it's called, but it's a stick that they would use. It was just essentially a stick that sometimes was carved very beautifully because it was used for cording, but you just tie, let's see if I can, I don't have a stick. Say my arm's a stick. You would just tie your fiber to the stick and then tuck it under your arm, so then you could spin without having to hold your fiber. So this would be attached to the stick and you would have both your hands free. So then if you're in a warmer climate, your gross sweaty hands isn't matting up your fiber, and you can just attach your spindle to it. So I don't know how they did it with spinning wheels, but it was super interesting to learn, and I kind of want to make one now. And they would, we know in Russia that they would have a flatter edge, sort of like an oar, and then you would carve out or burn out or just design and paint on and create these beautiful carvings and use that as like a, hey, I want to court you. I know you need this. Spin things? Yes. So that was super interesting to learn. And then we got food, hung out, knit, bought fiber, planned a lot of stuff, and then I had a natural dye class. Okay, running out of things, and I even started spinning up the green while I was waiting. So that's how excited I am for this beautiful cloud. The dogs are yelling at people's radios because it's summer. No, it's not. It's spring, and people now have their windows open. So, event, yes. I wore this dress. It's the same material that I made my Make Two Along dress out of, but it's a Tudor style lace up in the sides dress. I call it my Belle dress because if I wear a white apron I look like Belle. Yes, the class I wanted to go to, reason why I went to this event really, was the natural dyes class. And that was run by Liz, who I bought the fiber from. And it was the best put together class I've been to. I only went to 3, so I mean, between the two, it was my favorite. She made us these dye books, and it's leather, and she printed out and sewed in all of the pages. I'm going to put a link to her blog because she is going to have a lot of this on her blog. So for people who are interested in natural dyeing, Devon, this place. Yeah, these were the handouts. So it's got excerpts from a 1540 dye manual. It's got her dye recipes. It's got her sister's dye recipes. It's got an annotated bibliography of books that do modern day, I have a dog hair, modern day natural dyes and also historical natural dyes. A lot of the historical books are based out of historical Williamsburg. So it's not period, but it's close. So yeah, it's fantastic. And she's even left pages for note taking. So I don't want to get it too close because it's not all my stuff, but I mean I can at least show you the maybe I won't, but yeah, it's fantastic. It's very period. I love it. So we went through that, and it goes through like mordants, dyes, water types. it goes through the main dyes, like cochineal, which is a dried up bug, woad, which is a root, like not blackberries, buckthorn berries, dahlia petals, all that, and it's all this beautiful book. And she also gave us, this is essentially what is inspiring me so hard right now, little samples of each one. So like this is, I believe this is straight cochineal. Yep. So this is cochineal straight on 100% wool. And she gave us wool and silk samples. So this is weld and then dipped in indigo. And I definitely want to get an indigo vat going. I do have plans. I want to do a series of natural dyes over the summer and do, I did a little bit of solar dyeing last year. I want to do solar dyeing, I want to do natural dyeing, so I feel like that's a really good summer thing to do. But like, this is weld, and it's just these gorgeous, vibrant colors that I didn't, like I knew you could get these bright colors with natural dyes, but I didn't realize how vibrant. Like this is weld and indigo. No, this is, yes, that's buckthorn. What's this? Weld. Yeah, this is weld and indigo. This is, I'm not even showing you these things, I'm just talking. Cochineal, and then one dip in indigo. Madder. And then the variety of indigos between like 1, 2, and 3 dips. So I definitely want to, I want to play. I want to experiment. So, and I got a bunch of copper piping that I have to clean so I can start making my copper, I forgot what it's called, but it's a mordant and it's also a color because it turns the water this electric blue, but then it dyes everything green or bluish green. One of these in here has it. So yeah, that was fantastic. I loved it. I had a blast. After that I went to the tapestry class and just spun and listened. And then I left before court because I had an hour's drive home and I had a lot of dyeing to do. So I did a lot of that last night. And I did some test dyeing for Adrian for his new sock design, which I think I got the color. We'll see. So I went home early. And here we are. So that's the events. I have some last minute things I forgot to do in the intro. I moved my laptop down here. My internet's not connecting. Mostly a gigundo thank you to everybody for all the birthday wishes, and I got some beautiful gifts from some beautiful people. I got a couple pattern gifted from Carlene, Jenny, and Jeanette, and they're all wonderful, and thank you so much, guys. I definitely have some thank you stuff that will be on the way to you soon as I make it. So I just want to say a giant thank you to everybody for the birthday wishes, and yeah, it was very nice to get. It was nice little surprises throughout the day because I did have to work, so it wasn't the best day during the day, but then it got better. I got those sort of like every 2 hours, and then Jake took me out to a little French restaurant for dinner, and I had this fantastic duck, like a cranberry blackberry sauce. It was so good. I have some for lunch today. And we had creme brulee and wine and fantastic cappuccinos. I love this place. It's like a little, I think 20 people can fit in it. It's a little brick building across the street from the Saugatuck River right in downtown, so it was walking distance to us. I'm really glad we didn't check it out on like a spur of the moment thing. It was pricey, but it was so good. The chef came out and said hello. It was fantastic. And then we knit and watched, not Game of Thrones, House of Cards for the rest of the night. So that was a good birthday night. And then we did the event, and last night we dyed and got Five Guys and watched more House of Cards. You can see how tired the pups are. So today is more dyeing because I have a new colorway I want to test out. Hopefully some sewing, get some of those bags and that dress done, and then prep for the week. I also wanted to do this at the beginning, and I didn't. Things I've been in love with lately, and I'm spotting themes. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with these themes. Last week's was mostly Etsy shops. This week, double podcasts. So, 2 hosts. And no one's going to be surprised by anything I say within these next 3 minutes. But the Legacy Knits podcast, I'm in love with them. I watched 1 episode, and then I went back on a really bad day, like Wednesday, and just binge watched all of them and just cracked up. And I suspected that they were in Connecticut. And then my suspicions were correct. So you're sort of local. Guys, let's knit. Tell me your yarn shops. I want them. Yes, Adrian and I, at least. Mom's probably going to join us because it's Mom. And I told my knit group about it, so they said that they'll call the places and tell them they're going to have a knit group visit. So maybe we're going to have a caravan across Connecticut for knit shops. One day soon, I hope. So, go watch them. If you haven't, where have you been? I have things popping up on my computer. The next one, surprise, surprise, The Grocery Girls. Again, no surprise. If you don't watch them, where have you been? They're hilarious. I was weeping silently at work because I was laughing so hard at them and I was trying not to draw attention to myself. They're fantastic. And then, last but not least, is Fiber by Design with the O Loops girls. And I've been watching all these guys for a while, but this past week I've just been on a 2 co-host podcast kick. And I'm in love with it. I love how everybody bounces off of each other. And the O Loops girls, I love their yarn colors. I just stock them on Etsy all the time. One of these days, I'm going to get it. One day. I'm thinking maybe for their Harry Potter knit along that I've been hearing about. I think I'll save up for that. That'll be good. And just their projects. And I love it. I love them all. I love how everybody interacts. I love that they're not just talking to their dogs. But I do, they disappeared. I'm gonna see if I can turn the camera without making you throw up. Oh, you can't see the sploot. Hold on. Audrey's Sploot City. You can see how disgusting my dresser is. Sorry. And my one slipper on my writing desk. Oh, look, there's my, right there. There's all the wool for Rolags. But yeah, definitely, if you don't watch them, do. You should. Absolutely. My throat's super dry. And that's it. Yes, again, thank you for the Swans challenge. That was super fun to put together, and I was hoping to wear my Swans, but I have to get elastic, so I'm going to, instead of doing the belt cinching like they suggest, I'm going to trim them down and put it in an elastic waistband and make them real pants. I might wear them to yoga. We'll see if I sweat to death or not. Yeah, I'll have the thread up. Keep an eye out. You can find me everywhere. Once again, Instagram, Twitter, Ravelry as Gabagales. We do have a Ravelry group, OnceUponACorgiPodcast.com. Not .com. That's a lie. Once Upon a Corgi Podcast on Ravelry.com. Show notes will be at onceuponacorgi.wordpress.com. I think I posted last week's show notes. I can't find them. I didn't post a thread. It's been a really weird, bad, awful, fast week. Like, it's been I'm too tired. I don't have the emotional strength to do this. I'll do it tomorrow. And then it's Friday, and I'm like, what happened? Where did everything go? So, I'll post up 2 threads, one for last week's episode 9, one for this week, episode 10. So, excuse me. Keep an eye out, uponacorgi.etsy.com. Oh, the thread. I will close the thread the night before my next podcast, which is April 1st, I believe. So, April 1st, that Friday night at like midnight, I will close the thread and I will use a random number generator and I will draw the prize. I will post a picture of the prize when I get everything in, so keep an eye out on Instagram, keep an eye out on Ravelry, and post what sweater you would put your Swans at. So, yeah. have a good couple weeks, guys, and I will see you soon. Bye!